Hi everyone and welcome back to Good Nightmare. Once again, I want to cover a case or a part of history that involves a strong, prominent female character. I know that this is probably becoming a bit of a trend, but I promise you I will be featuring stories that have more masculine influences soon. My first introduction to this particular woman was actually through an episode, or rather a series, or a season, I guess, of American Horror Story. You probably already know who I'm talking about, or can guess at least one of the two characters that I could be talking about. And if you guessed Marie Laveau, you're correct. In this episode, I'm going to let you know a little bit about who Marie Laveau was, and a little bit about voodoo itself. I want to say first off that I'm no expert. I have been spending some time researching this, and I hope that I have an understanding of what voodoo is. If I mess anything up, or I get something incorrect, or if there's something that you want to share with me that you feel that I should know or the listeners should know, please feel free to contact me. This time our story takes place in New Orleans. New Orleans is known for its Louisiana voodoo. It was the home to Marie Laveau and her daughter, Marie Laveau II. Voodoo is a religion originating in Africa. It's believed that in the Americas and the Caribbean, it's a combination of African, Native American, and Catholic traditions. Like many religions, it varies among regions and among voodooists. It relies on the individual's experience, intention, and knowledge, and it is not a dark magic as it's often portrayed to be. There is a lot of misunderstanding about voodoo. It's usually portrayed as evil, black magic, or associated with evil curses and torturous voodoo dolls. What voodoo is, from my research, and please correct me if I'm wrong, is an understanding that there are in fact two worlds. The world we live in, and an invisible world, where spirits of people who passed on exist. Death is simply a passage to the next world, and contact is able to be made with those who reside on the spiritual plane. They're close, they're accessible, and they're able to provide guidance in our world when called upon. It's not surprising to anyone, or it shouldn't be, that voodoo's bad reputation is clouded in racism. Having been introduced to the Americas by Caribbean peoples who were taken as slaves, they were feared and ridiculed for their practices. That idea has carried on to this day. It's important that we deconstruct where these ideas and viewpoints come from, and to educate ourselves on unspoken and hidden histories. Today we're going to talk about Marie Laveau and her daughter, often represented in popular culture and one of the first names many people think of when they hear the word voodoo. According to historical documents, Marie Laveau was born in the French Quarter, a free woman, in New Orleans in 1801. There's not much known or confirmed about her personal life, as there's little to no documentation. We do know that she married a man named Jacques in 1819, a French immigrant who fled the Haitian massacre as a refugee. Jacques' death was recorded in 1820. They had two daughters together, who both disappeared from historical records in 1820. Marie went on to have two more daughters, who were recorded to have lived into adulthood. One of these daughters was Marie Euchariste Aloise Laveau, and would come to be known as Queen Marie II. Though Marie Laveau was known for her voodoo among her community, it was Marie Laveau II who was said to draw crowds and practice publicly. The elder Marie Laveau had quite a positive reputation. She was said to do good for the sake of doing good. She would nurse others through illness, counsel men condemned to death before their execution. She was known as a matchmaker for wealthy white men and was a hairdresser to the white elite. It is rumoured that her accurate divinations and readings may have come from a network of informants that she built among the servants of the elite. According to people's accounts at the time, she is said to have instilled fear in the servants, or taken information as payment for curing their ailments with her voodoo. Quite a clever woman. It's difficult to separate the histories of Marie Laveau and her daughter of the same name, but it is considered that the elder Marie would practice her voodoo in private and was strongly dedicated, whereas her daughter would hold public events, performing for crowds. She was said to have travelled the streets like she owned them, and judging by her popularity, she may as well have. According to the text In Motion, African American Migration Experience, in 1874, as many as 12,000 spectators, both black and white, swarmed to the shores to catch a glimpse of Marie Laveau II performing her legendary rites. I wasn't able to find too much more information about Marie Laveau II, but I do have a little bit more about the elder Marie Laveau. Marie lived into her late 70s and was said to have passed away at home with a smile on her face. She died of natural causes. Members of the community claim to have seen her walking the streets after her death, though it has been considered that this may have been her daughter that they saw. It would make sense, however, that her spirit could be seen, given the proximity of the invisible or spiritual world to our own. The legend of Marie Laveau did not die with her. Many people visit her grave, or where she's believed to be buried. Her tomb is covered in X's, in accordance with a rumour that if you wanted her to grant you a wish, you would have to draw an X, turn around 3 times, knock on the tomb, and yell out your wish. If you were lucky enough to have it granted, you would have to return with an offering and draw another X. Many people have also claimed to see Marie Laveau wandering through the cemetery where she's buried, whispering curses to herself. Her tomb is no longer accessible by the public, and entry to the cemetery can only be made with a tour guide because of the amount of vandalism and destruction that's occurred over the years. There is a rumour that in 1982, New Jersey punk band The Misfits were arrested and accused of trying to exhume Marie Laveau from her grave after a concert. As far as I can see, no one can confirm if this is exactly true, and personally, I hope not. Lastly, and importantly, though popular culture often references Marie Laveau as a witch, she is in fact a voodoo queen. Witchcraft and voodoo do share some similarities in terms of practices, but they're not the same. And as with voodoo, witchcraft is not an evil practice. That might be something worth visiting in a later episode. Marie and her daughter weren't people of darkness or evil. Marie was a woman who provided for those around her and who practiced her religion freely, as it should be. As I said, the first time that I really saw Marie Laveau in popular culture was on a season of American Horror Story. The portrayal was fantastic, and I absolutely fell in love with the character and the story. Feel free to let me know if you have any book recommendations, any further reading, or any other pop culture references to the Laveaus. I would love to hear your favourite stories, representations, or tales. Or if you know of any other voodoo queens. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. Please email me at goodnightmare_s@outlook.com with your favourite tales, historical crime stories, mysteries, or any suggestions. You can also follow me on Twitter or Instagram at goodnightmare_s. As always, I really appreciate your support and I love hearing from you guys. So please feel free to send me a DM, tag me in something, or send me an email. Stay tuned for a promo for a fantastic podcast. And thank you so much for listening. Sweet dreams.
Hey, do you like movies?
Hey, do you like podcasts?
If you do, then come on down and listen to the Home Video Hustle podcast, homie.
Hustle.
Every Friday, we talk about whatever movie PJ picks out the bag. What does that mean? Well, every Wednesday on our YouTube page, I pick a bunch of movies at random. Sometimes there's a theme to it, sometimes not. PJ picks the movie out, and guess what? We watch it on Friday. We talk about it for about maybe an hour and a half, whatever we feel like doing. Might give you something good to watch, baby. Come on down every Friday.
So come get your hustle on with Home Video Hustle.
You can find the show on any podcatcher app, or you can come down to homevideohustle.podbean.com. All of them in one place for you, so you can go ahead and binge it like it's Netflix. We ain't the Defenders, but I like to think we a little bit better than that. Come holler at your boys, man. Come chill with us. Peace.